What's going on, guys? So we're back yet again. We're going to be doing another game review, which has been a very long time since we have done a game review on this channel. I got some more games I got that I'm going to be playing very soon, but here we are for Alien Rogue Incursion. Now, overall, I will say this: if you guys are fans of the Alien franchise, you guys can play this in VR, or you can play it, on PlayStation or I believe Xbox. But it is available on PlayStation right now. But overall, okay, so it's just PC and PlayStation. But overall, this game was actually interesting because this was pretty much taking all the concepts that we had from Alien Colonial Marine and kind of mixing it with its own story. So the entirety of this story, and it's not that very long either, and I know that there's been some people out there that have been complaining about how short the story is and it laying on a cliffhanger, which I'm in agreement on. Now, playing as the character Zula, she is uh, an AOW. She basically went AWOL with her rogue companion, or her AI robot companion, by the name of Davis, and they are supposed to be going on this planet that she's trying to help the one who pretty much helped her become a soldier by the name of Carter. And when this happens, they crash land because of defense mechanisms. They're trying to figure out what's going on and they're unsure. But as soon as everything happens, they realize xenomorphs have taken over the planet and she's trying to figure out exactly why, what was going on here. But it seemed like there was a lot of sketchiness and it seems like there was some foul play involved in the facility. So throughout the entirety of the story, you're pretty much just shooting xenomorphs and you're trying to figure out exactly what happened in this story. Now, there is a point in the story where it does get intense. There's a few intense scenes. One of them probably was when Davis, who is the AI cyborg, reunites with you and you're shooting at xenomorphs. He gets taken out, and then you get taken by the xenomorphs so you could be taken over, impregnated by the xenomorphs so you can become one. And you do get an embryo inside you, but then later on you do get rid of it because it goes back and forth of, should I just go ahead and blow up the facility with me in it? That way we can just kill all the aliens in one whack. And you even gets brought up to Amanda Ripley, who I believe from my history is the daughter of Ripley, Sigourney Weaver's character, if I'm not mistaken. Now, or the granddaughter, I can't remember. But overall, she sends out a signal basically saying that this planet needs to be exterminated. And again, throughout the story, Davis is only mentioned through some files and everything. And once you finally get the xenomorph out of you, that's when the queen shows up. And that battle probably was one of the most intense battles. For those of you that are still trying to figure it out, again, if you have not played this game yet, I would say if you have a lot of bombs, use the bombs like I did, and you're going to be seeing a green entryway underneath the neck, like in the chest area, and you just keep shooting. And I did that a few times. It took about between 3 bombs and about three uh, probably from the gas canisters that's going to be in the area, and then you'll be able to beat the queen. Now, again, that was intense. Also, there was a few jump scares, I would say, and the only reason why is because you're so focused on killing a xenomorph. You turn around, there's one there, and you're like, oh damn, and you just you're trying to maneuver and everything so that way you can survive. Now, overall, I will say there is some downplays in this game. I will admit there was a few bugs when I played it. I went ahead and pre-ordered this before it even came out. Also, the issues I had, honestly, was I would do the rewiring that they would have you do in the game. I was not a fan of that, I'll be fully honest. And then it seemed like my character would just freeze, like I couldn't do anything. So what I would do to get out of that, status, I would have to go to a save point and then be able to move around freely. And then later on in the game, it got better, but that was one of the things I think that they initially had when the game came out, but again, looks like it's been fixed. But I was not a fan of that with the wiring. That was actually very boring. The other thing that was a downplay for me is you can only hold a certain amount of items. Like you can only hold a certain amount of ammunition or meds or grenades or whatever. And again, I was hoping I would get like a satchel or something to be able to hold more items in, but you don't get that, unfortunately. I would say the graphics were alright, but it really did feel like it was an old, like it didn't feel like it was a 2005 game. It did not feel like that. It felt like it was an older game, especially with the faces of the cyborgs and some of the other characters. And again, it could have just been better for cinematography wise, in my own opinion. But overall, it was a fun game. It was an okay game. Would I play it again? Yes. Apparently, there is another one in works, apparently, because it does leave you on a cliffhanger. And basically, what we see is Zula goes down and she is trying to reunite with Carter, but at the very end, we see something. I'm not sure if it's him or if it's a cyborg that is either infected or has gone nuts and just starts shooting, or is about ready to start shooting, and then it cuts to the ending. So it was actually like, what the hell? Because I was about ready to start shooting, because I was trying to make sure I had enough ammo because I wasn't sure when the game was going to end. But it really does leave you like, okay, what's the next part of the story? And that's pretty much what they leave it off on. But overall, for gameplay, it's pretty much just a shooter game. If you guys are used to pretty much Doom, that is pretty much what you're going to be dealing with. Or if you've even played Colonial Marines, that's pretty much what you're going to get. It's pretty much just straight shooting. The map kind of sucks, in my opinion. I don't like the way they did the map. I don't like maps like that, but again, I was able to figure it out. There's really not a whole lot of different types of xenomorphs in here other than the queen and your normal type of xenomorphs. That's really about it. We get normal cyborgs. Davis, he becomes, our cyborg friend slash confidant that is like, once his body gets messed up, you're able to transfer him in your little compartment that you have to go into the systems of the facility, and he's able to guide you through everything. So that's pretty cool. But overall, all you get for weapons is you get your normal assault rifle, you get a shotgun, you get a sidearm, but the sidearm doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. It's literally the last all be end all weapon, in my opinion. But overall, the game was good. I just wish it didn't live on cliffhanger, and the graphics would have been better. And at the same time, I wish it had been not having a cliffhanger, been longer, better options for not only probably your character, but also being able to carry more things as well, so that we'd be able to last longer. But again, I'm just nitpicking at this point. But what do you guys think about this? Was it a good game? Was it a bad game? Have you played it yet? Give it your honest review, guys, because again, Aliens, regardless of whether you feel about the franchise, the new game's out. Yeah, the show, I did not like the show. You guys already know this. But with the game actually kind of helped me give back my love for this franchise a little bit. And again, with the characters, I didn't mind the characters. Zula, she was not a Mary Sue, in my opinion. She actually went through a lot of trauma, trying to find a friend, trying to be faithful to not only her being a Marine, but also with her drive to not only protect herself, but civilization, and also make a point of, okay, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down swinging. And there was, issues with her as a character. Her being driven and courageous was both hand in hand. She had her issues and things of that nature. So I like when they give us a character like that, regardless of male or female. But if you're wondering if she's a Mary Sue, no, she's not. Again, I enjoyed her as a character, and I'm looking forward to when the character returns. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you as always on the next one.